Hey guys, I've been playing some multiplayer ranked games on Aoe2 DE, so I figured I'd just go through some recorded games and try to cast some of them and see what the experience is like. So we'll load into this one. This is just one I played earlier today against T90. And so I have been having a lot of fun playing through some of the single player campaigns and stuff, but for multiplayer, this game has a long way to go before it really gets ready and before it really gets ready to be played either competitively or even just to do the basic things that we're used to doing from Voobly. So if you see the spectator overlay, I can't have both the score and the technologies visible at the same time. I guess the score is down here, but this panel is kind of annoying because whenever you hover the mouse over something, even if you don't click it, that panel changes to display that information. So it's going to flop back and forth if you're trying to look at the score and see it down there. But anyway, if you notice, the map is Continental because you can't actually pick the map you want to play when you do ranked maps. It's just random, and the map from the pool we got was Continental. So I don't think either of us particularly know what to do on this map other than you get to pick your civ. You don't pick the map, but you pick the civ, which is kind of backwards from how Aoe2 normally works. Normally you pick the map and then go random civs, but anyway, I picked the Huns just because I don't really know what to do, and they're just kind of like a standard strong all-around civ. And he picked Japanese, which, they make a lot of sense on this map because they have the stronger fishing boats. So they have more HP, so if I sneak a fire ship back here when he tries to dock, then his fishing ships likely won't die, or at least not that quickly. And so the weird thing is basically you have these two landmasses, one for each player, and then in the middle of them, there's this central island that's very loosely connected to each of the land masses. Like you see here, I can wall off this tiny little strait there and then go across here. I guess the cute thing to do would be to put a gate there and then sail ships back and forth across that little beach because that's passable. But there wouldn't really be a point to that because I don't think you can cross over here. There's enough green in there to prevent it. Anyway, he has shallows, so you can go back and forth across there. There's a reason this map normally isn't seen too much in competitive play, and it's because the map generation really isn't balanced. Normally, you just end up with situations where one player has much better fish than the other. And there, I could have lamed his sheep, but I'm gonna give him back to him. He would have picked him up with the scout anyway, so we're both scouting each other around the same time. So I guess the difference is I'm going for we're both going for our docks at the same time. He'll actually find his turkey when he goes to make a dock, and we both just go pretty much straight to the corner to build the dock, so that's where the deep fish normally are. And sometimes it's just luck based on whether or not you have fish, but I think when Forgotten Empires redid some of these maps for the HD edition, they made the fish spawn more consistent than it was back in AOC, so the fish isn't quite as random as it was back in the good old days. Anyway, so yeah, both of us doing pretty much the same thing, going for the fish and not doing the mill. At this point, I was thinking, you see me walling the villager to keep it safe from the scout. Oh, there's extra turkey down there. Because I had seen those and was planning to get them with the villager later. Oh, so I guess this map has extra turkeys on it. So that's something to be aware of that I didn't realize. This map has extra turkeys. And we see he has some extra ones down there too, which he didn't look for because we're both so used to having the standard number of turkeys. Okay, so he has the ship out. I have the fishing ship out. Don't have a fish outline mod. That would be really nice to have. But yeah, so I'm thinking of that villager. Don't stand idle like that. There you go. I'm thinking of going scouts right now, and you see I already have the loom queued up. It's nice that you can see the queue of technologies, but I have loom queued up at the town center, so I'm thinking of just doing 2 more villagers, going loom as kind of, I don't know if I had idle time. This is either like a 22 pop villager up or 21 pop with lots of idle time. But doing that along with the dock will give me a bit extra population. The nice thing about Huns is on these weird maps you don't actually need to worry about building houses. So I'm going to idle my scout there as I try to micromanage some fishing ship stuff, and he's actually going to get a nice hit on it with that villager, which sucks for me because now I'm going to lose the scout fight unless I can make some good use of a hill. And at this point, if you look at my scouting, I haven't actually seen all of this part of the map. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is connected. I can run back because I don't know Continental that well. And when I click the scout, it tries to pathfind its way around here. but then fails and starts coming back down here again. So I just take a lot of unnecessary damage, and there's no way I'm winning that fight now, even though I do get a good hill advantage. And we see we will be up to a feudal age at pretty much the same time. And I get the hill, try to run away. Yeah, but I'm going to lose that scout. Let's see, he has 2 fishing ships, and I have 3 right now. So I guess it's a slight advantage for me, even though he does have the Japanese ones. And he's walling off. This might be a bit early. He's really scared of landings at this point, I guess. Yeah, that's probably not very necessary there. You gotta try to get the hill bonus again, but not really gonna get anything else done with that scout. So as I was thinking about going scouts, once I saw that this was the only passageway and I wasn't going to get across it, even though I think there's a hole there that neither of us notice, I decided just to call an audible and going to just kind of wall up, go for archers instead. And we're just about to reach the feudal age. And we'll see, I did put that mill there because I wanted to take the deer. Looks like he also did do the same thing, mill between the deer and the berries. He was able to take some shorefish there too. Probably would have been a good thing for me to take those 2 shorefish with the mills as well, even that 3rd one there. And yeah, so I go to gold kind of as a combination of wanting to get fire ships out and also thinking of going for archers. He goes for the stable and scouts, which is interesting. Japanese can do that now because they have bloodlines. Well, they could have done it before, but now it's a bit stronger if you want to go heavy into scouts or transition into knights later on because you do have that bloodlines upgrade. Anyway, it looks like he is going to be probably a bit faster in... there you go, getting at that fire galley. Yeah, that's so weird. If I want to use the mouse kind of to gesture at the bottom area, it like goes wild as I move the mouse down there. But anyway, he is that fire galley and coming out of the dock, and then he'll be adding in more fishing ships. He is housed a bit. That's why you pick the hunt, so you don't get housed. And he gets the fire galley out. Meanwhile, I have 5 fishing ships and not doing the fire galley yet. And yeah, he does go to gold now, so he will be able to make more fire galleys. He's going for a gate there. But at this time, I figure I've seen that the dock was up there earlier. And I decided to put a dock up here to try to sneak some fire galleys around to the back of his base. He goes for a forward dock over here. And that'll be really nice because that'll basically stop any type of transport ship stuff I could do trying to get archers across if he goes there. But yeah, I'm fully walled, so these scouts aren't going to do too much. Now, as I think about it more, scouts on Continental probably are not that great of a choice because it's such an easy wall-off. And normally if you do transport ship landing, archers tend to be a lot more powerful than scouts. Just because if you surprise them with a transport ship, one of the things they can do is just quick wall and keep the scouts out. Whereas you can't really do that with archers because they'll shoot over the quick walls at your woodline. Anyway, yeah, he's going for a... what is that next to? Is that even a men-at-arms? No, it's just 2 scouts and a spearman. Alright. Yeah, I thought I'd seen him. I guess that is just 2 scouts. That one looked shorter than the other. Maybe that's just a weird graphical thing. So let's see, has he seen my range yet? Oh, I can't use a hotkey to toggle the fog before. Another basic feature we don't have. Anyway, I move a fishing ship. I'm kind of running out of fish down here, so I start going that way. I tried to move a fishing ship up to this dock, but that's probably not a good decision. I'll just end up losing it later. And I'll try to sneak this fire back into the back of his base, and I'll do the same thing on this side. I might have messed up my patrol a bit, or sent it back for some reason. Alright, yeah. I don't think I've... There I'm flying again. That's his point of view. I don't think I've scouted those docks yet, so I don't know they're there. But I do... I think I lost a villager there to that tiger. And he's going to go for my dock and try to knock it down with those scouts. Meanwhile, I do have this fire in the back of his base. I need to do something with it. Just kind of left it idle there for a bit. And there we go. Hopefully it'll attack a fishing ship. There we go. But of course, these are Japanese fish. Look at how slowly they get taken out by that fire. It's just going to survive forever. And he'll probably get the first hit on my fire ship there and win that fight. I'll need to get this second one back over. But he has a fire ship there too. So I think the 2 fire ships are fighting each other now. Or the fire galleys, not fire ships yet. And he's able to repair that, so he'll win that fight. I'll just lose those fire galleys. Oh, but I have another one there. I'll actually take that one out if I pay attention. Come on. Anyway, I'm probably looking at his actually killing my dock down there. So he's going really heavy into water from like 1 to 3 docks, whereas I'm just doing it. I basically gave up on this one once I saw I was losing it. And in all honesty, I think that was actually beneficial to me, because I'm doing wheelbarrow right now, and I'm just about to click up, whereas he went for all those scouts and only has 2 farms. So despite all the fish, they really haven't paid off for him yet. He's nowhere near being able to click up. So I at least was able to disrupt them a bit with those fire galleys and force them to move around. Whereas he really hasn't gotten to mine until like right now. Anyway, let's check the score. He does have a bit of a score lead, but that's mostly from the advantage he has on the water. Right now, that doesn't necessarily reflect the positions we are at in the game, because I'm a lot closer to clicking up to the castle age, and in fact I already have. And that means these archers I'd been going for become crossbows, and the scouts he'd been going for basically become useless. So I can just add a couple of spears in there, and then crossbows will... The scouts really can't fight against crossbows. And he does still have that hole there. The thing that I'm really worried about right now is demo ships coming out of these docks. Like, one demo raft kills my entire army, and GG's me. But if you look at him, he's still in feudal a good way. He needs to kind of rebalance that eco. I'm sure he'll do that once that market's up. And I'm able to take a pretty good fight here on that hill. I think, yeah, I'll get a scout, get a few more hits, and get the archers in there. Not quite the best micro, but I did manage to take them out. And he decides to go forward for my gate now. That's kind of a weird decision, because I can just pick him off and bring my army back down. And I guess what he wants to do is take a fight along with those fire galleys, but if they were normal galleys, that would probably work. But fire galleys just don't have the range, only 2 range. So now I'm at castle, and that means I want my archers to be going across the map and immediately becoming crossbows if I have to click on my point of view. So immediately crossbow and bodkin coming out and starting to make cav archers. Should probably bring those spears forward and not leave them behind. But anyway, these will be crossbows, and now those scouts won't be able to do anything. Now he goes for the tower on the gold. It's a bit of a mistake. If the tower were a bit more like over here, he could have protected that gate better. But since it's this far over, I can, of course, just walk there. Can't believe I didn't notice that either. But palisade gates go down pretty quickly to crossbows anyway. And tries to gate me so I can't stand underneath the tower, which is nice. Tries to get another gate up over here. And I think I kill that gate. Because they don't... I think there was a change made to gates so that they don't have armor while they're only a foundation. Which is actually a really nice change because you can destroy them a lot faster. And here's the point where I noticed the hole because my units are running through it. He tries to put a tower on his wood line, but by this point it's, I have crossbows and I'm going to kill lots of villagers. The hard part is I can't actually click the villagers because the tower scaffolding's in the way and it's so tall that I just end up clicking the scaffolding instead of the vills. And now I can just kind of hug the crossbows underneath there and run the cav archers into the rest of his base, and there's the GG. Yeah, he has no more stone and had built 2 towers, so he wouldn't be able to defend the back part. But, yeah, this casting overlay, it's not anywhere near as good as the spectator dashboard we had, 5 years ago, something like that, on Voobly. And considering we have CaptureAge now, I wanted to give it a try, just see what it was like to cast a couple of games, but we really need to get some pretty good updates focused on this in their post-launch support if they want it to be useful for competitive games. What do these arrows do? I can collapse the technologies. Interesting. What's the point of having them collapsed then? I still can't view the score. As it just makes the screen prettier to look at, but if I wanted that, I could just take that off anyway. One nice thing is you can collapse this if you really want to get a good clean view of the map without that obscuring you. It's useful for a screenshot, so I use that collapse that for a couple of my thumbnails, but anyway, let's just go look at the statistics. We see he did have the military score. That's just a good example of, he had a better military and better economy, but the timing for him just wasn't there. I was able to keep my fishing ships working a bit longer. And since I didn't commit into scouts, I was able to click up a lot faster. Yeah, the units killed at the end just got the advantage with those vills on the towers. And economies, pretty similar. Kind of surprised. He did have the more wood collected, even though he was going for scouts because he went so heavy into those fire galleys, even though they kind of weren't useful. He didn't really kill my fish, and he didn't know how to path them around the outside of the map to get to the fish because he did dock in the middle and kind of focused on killing my forward dock rather than getting to my fish. But anyway, so hope that was a fun thing to watch for you guys. I don't know how much I'll be casting on the definitive edition, but I figured it was a good thing just to try it out and see how it goes. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.